Today, things are a little out of ordinary. I'm sure your life never happens in your life like that. Hello, I'm Pastor Lou here at the High Mountain Presbyterian Church property in Franklin Lakes, coming to you through the video stream and inviting you to join in a chat. The format around here is pretty informal, I guess I would say. At least it's one that's comfortable to me. There's a chair here. You might think about yourself coming and sitting down and having a conversation with a pastor and hoping that maybe the two of you together in a conversation would give some thought and some time to how are you doing, how are you managing the crests of waves and the depths of waves that come and go in our lives. I'm a little bit distracted today, I'm going to tell you that. My day is not long enough today, but still going to take this time, still going to sit. I'm only going to be here for a few minutes today, but it's important. Take the moments to think and to share. I've been venturing into what I think most of us would agree is kind of frightening territory in terms of this whole idea of inventory of the self and the inventory of trying to know yourself better, and then especially more intimidating, inviting others to to have a hand in shaping, in honesty and in safety and protection, to get feedback from other people about how you're doing. I always ask you how you're doing and how you do it, but I never ask you what do other people say. How much do you know and how much do you care? I mean, the woundedness of other people taking your inventory leads many of us to say, I don't care what other people think. I got to do myself. I got to do what I do, because the kind of feedback you get from other people about yourself is often just coming from not a good motivation, and you know it, you sense it, and so you have to discount it. You have to move it away. There's a lot of people happy to spend their whole life, instead of doing anything on themselves, going around taking other people's inventories, letting you know where your shortfalls are, letting other people know where their shortfalls are, their failures, their whatever. It's a great pastime. It is a great pastime and a great human pastime. It's not very productive, either for your own personal health to get hooked up with that, or for community. I heard it said again, God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth, so make sure you listen twice the amount of time that you talk. I don't know if that's true of me. I talk a lot. I talk a lot. I'm aware, too, I'm paying attention to it, too, that I get excited, and sometimes I get really excited when someone's starting to say something, and they pause a little bit in choice of their words, and I jump in and go, oh, I know what you're going to say. I've caught myself doing it several times. Stop, listen, make sure, because I'm only right. I'm right less than half the time. So I'm sitting here today. Oh, it's a pressured day for schedule. I'm going to talk shorter today because I have a couple of very important meetings scheduled during the day that go right into the period of 2 o'clock, and so I'm left with no choice to either just completely blow off this time and not be here, and I don't like to do that, so at least I like to say hello to you, carry on our conversation, let you know that at least for me, it's occupying in my mind. The epiphany of self, learning about myself with grace, hearing about me with grace, allowing grace to be true, not discounting it. I don't think there's any value whatsoever in just pummeling people with positive thoughts and words. I had a seminary student who, quite frankly, I've had a few seminary students who I thought in their preparation to ministry had to really deal with having grown up in very negative environments. And so when you sat in sharing and caring conversations, trying to help form and mold the identity of pastor, you find a wounded soul, really a wounded soul, knocked down, discounted, moved to the edges. But I had one student who I thought, quite frankly, had been completely ruined by a parent who made a commitment to never say a negative word to her child. Every word she said was affirmation. Everything she said was affirmation. Everything was, you are beautiful, you're pretty, you're smart, you've done a great job. There was never in her life, and I know you think I'm exaggerating, but I was shocked. And I'm here to report to you the damaging effect of that was just as stinging, because it left her with a sense of, I can't trust any affirmation that I get when every interaction I get is affirmation. You get it? Think about that. Wow. Because it's the truth that we need. It's not to be picked on, and it's not to be puffed up. That's not helpful. But it's truth. And it's very hard to take a truthful inventory of ourselves, and that's what's even harder. And the purpose for meditation, the purpose for prayer, the purpose for working intentionally on remembering, it doesn't matter as much until I have consulted what I think God feels about me and thinks about me and would say to me. And longing for the truth. You know, it doesn't help if people trying to protect you put a positive spin on something that you did was bad or was hurtful and harmful. They need to be able to say, it's hurtful, it's harmful. You're not a hurtful, harmful person, but you did that, and it was hurtful and harmful. So please, that's real relationship. That's relationship too with God. It doesn't make mercy out to be this big blanket that's thrown over all of our faults and somehow says, oh, you're blameless. That will not work for real relationship with God. The epiphany of the self, the epiphany of the journey of the self, of knowing of the self. Meditating is great, as long as you're able to open yourself to then a voice from outside, especially a voice from a loving, caring God. A force that created the universe in beauty and love and symmetry and majesty and balance and interconnectedness, and who has a deep interest in you also. I know, it feels rushed and it's short. And replay it if you need to. That's it for today. That's my word for today. That's the pastor's chat for today. It's the invitation to seek enlightenment into yourself. A lot of this would help if you had a pencil. Write down some of the thoughts that go racing by just for yourself, and then look at them again tomorrow. What are the insights you're getting on yourself? Are you open? Are you listening? I hope so. And I hope God is speaking, because that's the voice that you can depend upon. Friends, God bless you. Be a blessing to others. I will talk to you tomorrow on Thursday, and maybe for a fuller length. God bless you, and I'll talk to you then.